What is up guys, Mr. Maleki here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a video where France forms an empire, but just one word before we start the video. I don't normally do these videos. I normally do Dinosaur Simulator videos. Do not worry, I am not shifting my content towards this type of mapping stuff. I will be making more mapping videos on the mapping and Dinosaur Simulator videos in the future. So let's just get into the video. Just one thing before this video starts. Yeah, NATO does not exist, or the EU, so yeah. So this wasn't very surprising as they attack Belgium first. So well, Belgium never really stand a chance here. They never really did stand a chance, did they? Oh wait a second. Alright, there, it's just bugged a bit. So the Belgians never really stood a chance, did they? So they are just gonna get fried, but these guys are not the only countries going to be joining this war. The rest of the Benelux is. So with the help of Luxembourg and the Netherlands, they are able to push the French out a bit. Not that much though, but enough that they can't fully reach Brussels. I mean, I'm pretty sure they already did reach Brussels, but the French mobilised their entire military. What the? My colouring tool was bugged a bit. So they just capture Luxembourg instantly, and well, the rest is pretty obvious. The French are the 9th strongest in 2025, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but that's what I've been told. Well, the Belgians are holding on by a thread, quite literally, as they collapse, and now it's just the Netherlands. The Netherlands wants peace, but the French, they are French, and they do not accept. And well, the Netherlands never really stood a chance, or they just make peace anyways. So here is our peace treaty. Belgium and, well, Luxembourg have been cooked, while the Netherlands still exists. Not by much. If the French wanted to fight more, they would have. So the French kind of might be feeling a bit, frisky. Not frisky, but you know what I mean, because they do want to invade the Netherlands. I mean Switzerland. Okay, like half of France's soldiers. That is not the right colour. Why did I choose that? Okay, so French soldiers flood into the Swiss Alps, but they can't really do nothing more than this, because, well, mountains. So I'm not even lying, this is probably what would happen a couple weeks into the invasion. Well, the Swiss lose Bern, and they do not surrender since they have the mountains, the magical mountains to protect them. For the couple while, many French losses. The French have lost just around maybe about 50k men in this war, fighting Switzerland, since they have the Swiss Alps, which makes it harder for them to invade. But the Swiss are, trained in the mountains. So the French would struggle a bit, I say. So here's our peace treaty. Yep, you guessed it, full annexation for the French. Well, the Swiss. So guys, I'm going to fill this country in, Monaco, in as an occupied colour, so that I don't have to keep switching colours during this. Wait, did I colour in Switzerland blue? I don't know, but whatever. Time to invade Italy, I guess. Well, the very second the French declare war on the Italians, they try, but once again, the Swiss mountains exist. And also this happens. A new alliance. So, yeah. The French decide to make their own team. They get a team of pretty weak countries. So they get more, I guess. I mean, the Croats aren't the strongest neither are the Austrians, but they're still pretty good countries to fight with. Continuing on with this invasion, around about this much land has been lost from the Italians, while this alliance has been formed with all of these dark red nations, and this alliance, we're going to call it the anti-French expansion, I guess. But the French are basically not in the mountains anymore, so they just yeah, it's not looking too good for the Italians. Oh my god, I forgot to fill in Corsica. I mean Sardinia. How could I forget to colour in Sicily and Sardinia? But yeah, so this is not going very good for the Italians. They don't really have that much of a military left, but they still managed to get a bit land back. They try and reach for Rome, going through the Papal States path, but yeah, that's only happened because most of their troops are down here, so yeah, so it's not looking very good. So this small enjoyment, oops, I accidentally just murdered San Marino. Yeah, the Italians do not want to surrender because they do not want to look foolish to their allies. Well, they don't really have any at the moment. So it's not going very good for the French, since this alliance decides, well, not the entire alliance, but the Germans decide to declare war. Just the Germans. Just to see how strong the French are. And yes, this is semi-realistic. If the Germans did invade the French, the entire alliance would go at war. Same with the French alliance. But it's not entirely realistic, so I can do what I want. It's my video, okay? Okay, so at this point, the Italians are just in Sardinia like, what do we do? There's nothing they can do, though. So that definitely was not a Napoleon reference. So yeah, they just get obliterated instantly. But yeah, there's nothing the French can do to stop the Germans from coming, well, once again. So well, since there's nothing really here from stopping the Germans, they just fully invade and take Strasbourg instantly. But they once again have struggle because of the Swiss Alps. So the French do withdraw their troops from, well, Italy. What remains of Italy? The Germans do manage to get rid of the soldiers that the French soldiers. They have killed some French soldiers, but that's only because not all of them are in France. So all of their soldiers get militarized and ready to fight. I keep doing this by accident. By doing this, so they just kind of get wiped out. The Germans aren't too strong, but if the Germans start to lose the war, and also yeah, I forgot Liechtenstein was in this alliance, and they get absolutely just destroyed. Okay, my god, I keep forgetting that's gonna happen. I'll sort it out at the end of the war. So the Germans stand no chance. So both of these alliances go at war. The French Empire is not looking cool. They barely even are an empire. So yeah, it's not looking too nifty. But yeah, there's a couple of mountains down here. So they have trouble going through up there, but they are like perfectly fine going through here. And well, the Czechs are gonna struggle keeping the Austrians out. But down here, this is where these countries are gonna get absolutely destroyed. So Bosnia and Herzegovina does not really have a very good military. They literally are like one of the 100th strongest militaries. These are like 90th. But all of these Balkan nations could definitely take on these three. But you might be surprised, as they do manage to take Kosovo and fully annex it. going into Bulgaria and, liberating parts of Bosnia and Herzegovina. I know I keep stuttering, it's because I haven't done this before, but you know what it is. And I also know that these borders are blue. I'll fix them eventually. So, it's basically just all these countries versus these three, so it doesn't go so well. Kosovo collapses. All their troops are withdrawn. They just withdraw all their troops, okay? Some of them get killed on the way there. It's not looking very good for these countries. They put up a good fight, but this is where the North Macedonians are getting invaded. The Greeks were on this purple side. They would not last very long either. But they are just surrounded by all sides. There's nothing they can do. And well, the collapse of these nations happens. One thing that nobody expected to happen is a Hungarian invasion up here. Yes, Slovakian and Hungarian soldiers are indeed invading. Forgot what the country's called. Oh my god, Romania. Okay, I have to reset that because it's booked. So they managed to nearly get Zagreb, and they are reaching to get Bucharest, which is there, I guess. And well, I have to use a different colour for the invasion since it's just going to get darker and darker, isn't it? There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Invasion colours are invasion colours, okay? So, yeah, the Romanians weren't expecting this, so, yeah. Withdraw all their troops from here since it's occupied land. They can't really do anything about it. Whoa, I hate this thing. Why is it so weird here? But whatever, they just do not last very long. But it all goes to hell whenever the French start pushing back the Germans. Like, a lot of Germans are murdered. So it's not looking good until revolts happen in Bosnia, Herzegovina, Kosovo, Albania and North Macedonia. The revolts managed to meet up and liberate most of their nation. These guys struggle keeping the revolts in since, well, the Bosnia and Herzegovina's population is probably more than these countries' military, but they're just revolts, so they get demoed instantly. But then up here, a new front line's forming against the Germans again. So this is around a year into the war. Prague is right there. So the Austrians and Slovenian soldiers capture Prague, and well, the Czechs do not surrender. The Germans, however, have got like their entire military. So do the Polish. They are not completely going to die. Yes, and this video will be pretty long. They managed to get most of Prague back, but it's not enough for the Czechs to fully invade these guys and kick them out their territory. But Hungary's going to collapse, which is bad for the purple team. But yeah, Hungary does not last for much longer. And then the Slovaks lose their capital too. These Balkan nations' military is not looking very good. I mean, Slovenia has like 5,000 men. Kosovo, well, probably like 8 tanks or something. It's not looking very good. But yeah, only militaries down here that are decently good. Austria's, Romania's and Bulgaria's. So they just send their military up here as much as they can. Don't know why, but the only good countries' militaries are just staying where they are. So the Polish send soldiers to liberate. This is very overwhelming for the Balkan nations. and like half of Hungary is just liberated. Yeah, the Germans pushed the French back. It doesn't last too long, as most of their troops are down here trying to defend their allies. So they literally capture like that much land, which is a lot of land, and they meet up with the Austrians. They lose Munich and connect up with the soldiers in Prague. The Germans are getting overwhelmed by the French Empire. And yes, the French Empire has been buffed, so... Also, this is basically the opposite of what happened in World War II. So, yeah. The Germans are basically just... They need to Frankfurt, Kiel and Berlin. The Czechs do not surrender still. The Polish managed to liberate all of Hungary, which is good, I guess. But then something unexpected happened. I know I said they would never surrender, but they collapse fighting for their country. And yes, the Polish and the Germans still exist. Germany has lost about half of their military fighting the French. Yes, just the French. They try a liberation war with the Austrians and the Slovenians. Goes decently well. They managed to get Prague back, which will be a major city to help the Germans in this war. So the Germans managed to push the French back quite a bit. Polish managed to make an encirclement and kill about 100,000 troops in this encirclement. So I guess you weren't expecting this to go like this. But I gotta end this war since the video's getting long. It's basically just Poland. So the entire Polish military just builds loads of fortifications, try and keep them out as much as they can. But this is France's video, so Germany falls, Berlin falls. Berlin is now theirs and they have access to missiles and stuff. Well, they always have, France has nukes. So, well, Poland loses their capital soon enough. Because, all sides are just getting spearheads going up to Warsaw. And even they use German ports to land somewhere up here and make spearhead for Warsaw. Most of the Polish troops are here trying to defend back. And they do so manage to push them back all the way into Germany. They had a good run, they did have a good run. But this is Poland, they're not the strongest country. And well, they collapse. They lose their capital. They only have around 50,000 men left to fight. This entire eastern half just surrenders. Because they don't see a point in fighting anymore. And half of their country's gone. Slowly but surely, the Polish defences they built take back, kills lots of soldiers, but eventually the purple team collapses. Yes, stay tuned, this is going to be a very, very long video. That's why I'm not going to edit it. This is the peace treaty. The French Empire is looking very chunky, and yes, I did unfortunately forget to fill in Corsica. Very sorry about the French people watching this video. And yeah, the French did gain land from the Germans. I don't know why I didn't put that in. And we have a very thick Austria, which united with Croatia and Slovenia. That doesn't make sense in a peace treaty, but I guess that happened after the war. So yeah, the Polish were very, very lucky indeed. They did not get any land taken off of them. I very underestimated how long this video would be. This is the last war of this video, I promise. So this is gonna happen again. So basically, and also just letting you guys know there will not be an intro for these types of videos. The Spanish do not stand a chance against the French Empire. They know they're cooked. They lose Madrid. This does not go very well. But then the Spanish send their fully militarized army, and they have a buttload of artillery for some reason that they use to get rid of these, well, things. They go and capture these Menorcan islands and then continue taking the rest of Spain. They use ports in Menorca and whatever these islands are called to make a landing. They capture Gibraltar. The UK is not very happy about that, but it is what it is. And well, the French are basically left with no military after this war. There have been a war with more countries than Germany has in World War II. Okay? We all know what happened to the Germans in World War II. Well, the Spanish kinda don't really stand a single chance. They just send as many soldiers as they can out. And then they start sending special forces out to capture Madrid. Oh, funny story. Someone asked me cousin if he lives in Real Madrid. It's a football team. But yeah, the Spanish special forces just get destroyed. They use navy ports to make landings up here. And well, yeah, it's just not the greatest. It just doesn't go very well, okay? And well, there's the fall of Spain. Well, and I think you guys knew what was coming next. The French Empire has reached its peak. I have to go. Bye.